Hey, it's LaDonna Hale out here in Springfield, Oregon. Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. I know that our time is incredibly valuable, so I will keep this short. I'm going to try to make this about 10 minutes, and I just wanted to talk a tiny bit about fear and sabotage, and here's why. Because I'm 48 years old, and I have had plenty of times in my life where I let fear paralyze me with inaction, and it is avoidable if you clear the path for yourself, if you do the work to really think about where that sabotage might be coming from and address those root issues. And I'm going to read just a quick bit out of our book, Prime for Your Ascent. It's a 90-day workbook that is designed to help you ascend in your life and your business. And you don't have to have a business. This could just really be about you as a person wanting to up-level maybe your relationships with family, or maybe your relationship with your partner, your relationship with a business partner. It really addresses so many aspects of allowing us to live our best life, because we got one shot at this, right? We have one shot at this life here on earth. And so this really is designed to help you quickly, because I like quick, actionable resources. There's so much information out there, and oftentimes we're missing the tools to be able to take action, to take the next step, to fix things, right? We can talk about it all day long. We can visit it all day long. I mean, I know this, I speak this firsthand from situations I've been in with habits and bad, poor decisions I've made, that I've had to just decide that that was enough, that I wasn't going to do that anymore. So I just want to read this really quickly out of the book. I plant the seed of fear in the minds of people, and as these seeds germinate and grow through use, I control the space they occupy. The 6 most effective fears are the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. And this is from Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. And that's the devil speaking about how he controls people. And I want to just read those things one more time. I'm just going to read these one more time. The 6 most effective fears to control are fear of poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. So think about yourself in regard to that. Do you have an area in your life where you're actually sabotaging yourself in that area, even though you know that one for me was health. I wasn't taking care of what I was fueling my body with, and I wasn't exercising enough, and I had enough. And so 40 days I said, enough is enough, and I started daily doubles. I started eating really, really clean, low inflammatory foods to no inflammatory foods, and my health is back in check. I feel amazing. I can't wait to see what I'm done at the end of this run, and I'm going to stick with it this time, where times past I've faltered. I'm going to stick with it this time because I need my health to be in the best space because of all the things that we're working on. My discipline level is much higher, and I just want to be able to perform at a higher rate. So think about the areas in your life where you're paralyzed with inaction because of worry, maybe about the opinions of others, or maybe you're making excuses around your health. Maybe you have, I firsthand my daughter has Crohn's disease, my 23-year-old daughter, and we could sit on that and she could feel sorry for herself, or she could take responsibility into her own hands, and we could fix what we can fix around that diagnosis. And we've done that. We put her in a program that has been incredibly helpful. I'm actually blessed enough that I'm going to start working in that program a little bit, which is super cool. But the point is that we could sit and make excuses about her not being able to perform at a level that she wants because she has some health issues and challenges that kick her in the shin sometimes. Worry about the opinion of others is a huge one, right? It can cause you to develop low self-confidence when we spend time worrying about the thoughts of what other people think. I've had times in my life where I made decisions that people were incredibly judgmental about because I was giving up this, one was stepping away from a really successful corporate career, but it wasn't serving me. It wasn't aligned with my priorities, which have gotten even more dialed in right now. But I did have a little bit of immediate fear because I also had people planting the seed in my head that maybe you can't succeed at this other thing. And so if you let this go, then you're just out that thing, right? That's not going to be be there for you again. And, you know, stepping out of that and into the things that I love and that fuel me, that I'm passionate about, it's just opened up so many more doors. So trusting that. I didn't sit in an action though with that fear. I took action, and I've propelled things into a position that they're working for me, and it's really been fabulous. So really look at the past and things that have, you know, maybe it's that you've had a family member speak worry about income over you. Maybe it's that you have your own concerns about maybe someone's been sick around you, or maybe you create things that are wrong to maybe you come up with things like, I don't feel very good today, and then you don't have to take action, right? Because you have this or that. And then that keeps you paralyzed in that fear. So really think about those things and jot those things down that you feel like might be holding you back, because what we're going to do is talk about this. If you have a clear picture, it makes it so much easier, a clear picture of where you want to go. That's another thing we address in the book. Mission, vision, and values, where you're going in your life, aligning your priorities. Yesterday on here, I talked about priority alignment. Go back and watch that video. That can be incredibly impactful and helpful, especially if you feel like you have an area where you're stuck in fear a little bit, or maybe you've self-sabotaged. Maybe you are up for another advancement or a new rank in a company or something, and you've pulled the foot off the gas pedal. There's a reason for that. And maybe it's just that you're not at the right place, you're not in the right home, but also it could be that you're really self-sabotaging. So dig a little deeper around that, and look at what's holding you back, keeping you paralyzed with that inaction. So if you have a very clear picture, one, that makes it easier to get out of fear, to stop self-sabotage, and to move forward. And the other thing is, you really want a clear plan. You want a clear plan, an action step, a roadmap, a daily method of operation. We teach you how to write that in here as well. We teach you how to write a DMO, which is cool. And that doesn't just apply to business. A lot of people probably have never heard that terminology, DMO, daily method of operation. How do you operate your life? Do you get up in the morning and dive right into social media? Or do you get up in the morning with purpose? Do you journal? Do you read? Do you meditate? Do you pray? Do you go to the gym? Do you have time before you dive into social media and get distracted by the devil, and really get your mind right and well, and work on the things that will have the most positive impact in your priorities, around your priorities. So coming up with a simple plan clarifies to eliminate some of that fear and self-sabotage. And, you know, a couple books that help around that, The Big Leap and Stop Doing That Shit. Those are two books that are incredibly helpful around addressing where maybe some of that fear and self-sabotage is coming from. Again, it's The Big Leap. If you want this information, drop it in the comments that you want the information about the books, and I'll put a picture of them in there. Again, it's The Big Leap, and it's also Stop Doing That Shit. Super helpful. And I haven't done the journal that goes with the second book, but my son-in-law, I think, is working through it, and I think it's a good one. Sounds like it's a good one. And then embrace the process. If you are doing the action steps and you're in the right place, the right home, you have your priorities aligned, you have your DMO, you're actually doing the work around it, embrace the process of that working. Trust that it's going to work. I mean, if you can truly look in the mirror and you can ask yourself if you're doing the work to propel that forward, that it's going to happen. It's just the timing is different for every person. So love yourself where you're at, put blinders on, stay in your own lane. I will say that specifically if you are working as an entrepreneur in social retail, online, selling anything, focus on you. There is so much information out there. It can get so confusing about who you should follow, who you shouldn't. There are people that are sharing that they're winning, that they're not, and they're giving you tools that maybe won't work. So be really careful about that, about who you follow, who you're dialed into. And if someone's energy rubs you the wrong way, put your blinders on. You don't have to pay attention to that person. If it's a rub for you that doesn't feel healthy, you can disconnect from that. You stay in your own lane, and then wonderful things happen, right? It eliminates that being paralyzed with inaction because you're over here checking out what Mary's doing, and you don't even know what Mary's had going on for 10 years. Maybe Mary built a list of people that she's been working with for 10 years and they followed her to where she's at, and that's where those big successes are coming from. So that's one thing I see happen a lot. We get in that comparison game and it can hold us back. You know, maybe comparing yourself to another mom that appears to have all of her crap together on social media, which I can guarantee that there's probably some things going haywire in the back end. Things look perfect oftentimes, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm a mom of 2 girls that are grown. And I mean, I could have painted a picture that everything was wonderful, but I know there were times that we went out of the house. I mean, sometimes I went to work one time with a black shoe on and a brown shoe. They were really close, but they weren't the same shoe. And I'm like, come on, you know, like now on social media, that would have been funny. I would have posted that. Cause I like the imperfect pieces of life. I like the authentic, imperfect pieces of life, the people that are really sharing the real stuff about what's going on, because, you know, we can have all of our ducks in a row. We can have these beautiful DMOs. We can have all this wonderful stuff, but you know, life sometimes throws us curveballs. That's just reality. So embrace the process of where you are. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, definitely share it out. We really want to grow this community. We have the 660, 6 things you can do over 60 days to really improve your discipline. That's a free group. We're loving that. That's growing fast and it's been fun. So if you want in on that, let me know. The other thing is that we have the masterclass coming up the end of the month. We're 6 weeks diving really deeply into the, the book. You can order the workbook on Amazon. You can work through the workbook alone. It's incredibly helpful, if I do say so myself. It's nothing that we haven't implemented and used, and it totally works. It's been fun to get the feedback on that. And then we have some kind of fun stuff percolating around some workshops. And there'll be online workshops, and I can't wait for that. Mariah's kind of cooking up some things around that. So I hope this was helpful. And definitely let me know if you need help with anything. If you want in on the group, if you want the information about the book, you just want a little help, want a dialogue about some of these things. Again, just get your clear picture painted. Come up with a simple plan and embrace the process. And have fun along the way. You know, we all need to be having more fun. Have a great day.